got some major news happening in the hobby when it relates to Topps. We have a Topps employee accused of a consignment scam. This appears to be a situation that occurred before he was hired onto Topps. And after being hired onto Topps, it appears that he's left several collectors left holding the bag. Ryan, if you could run down what is happening with this Topps employee and maybe the updated situation. I know you've actually been in contact with this individual, and maybe give everybody an update on the situation.
Okay, so this is something that's been percolating, gosh, probably for over a month. I maybe heard about this over a month ago, but just kind of put it on the back burner. Didn't really, really want to talk about it until I got more information. Anyways, this guy, Richard, who works at Topps, used to run this LVBK Collectibles. It was a consignment service. So you would send your cards into him and he would sell them. And so what happened is that this thing only lasted about a year or so. At one point, I think he said he had about 50,000 listings. He went out of business, got hired at Topps, supposedly, moved across country, and about 7,000 cards and an unknown amount of collectors or consigners are still owed cards and or money from this guy from September 2022. So it's been about 6 months. And so these people are getting very frustrated at what's going on here. They've started to obviously contact us. And so freeze the screen here, but back to the story at hand here. So about 7,000 cards and probably money has been held up for over 6 months here. And so obviously these people who hold these cards or are owed money are getting a little frustrated. So I reached out. I've heard actually from several of these customers. I finally reached out to Richard. To his credit, he got right back to me. I just kind of let him explain the situation. Hey, what's going on? I didn't want to go in guns blazing. I didn't have cards consigned here. I didn't get screwed here. So there's no reason for me to come in guns blazing here. I really just wanted to open up the lines of communication, see what happens. Are these cards, he claims that all these cards that are owed to people, he still has, and he's just, for one reason or another, one excuse or another, hasn't got around to doing it. I hope by making this video, posting the article that we did today that had several thousand views on our article. I mean, there's literally, there's a reason why I post over there. Several thousand people viewed that article today. So LVBK Collectibles, he's been stalling for 6 months. Look at his recent eBay feedback. It looks like he sold some stuff and then he didn't ship it. So these people have probably had to go back through eBay and get refunds and all this kind of different stuff. So like I said, I reached out to Richard. I said, hey man, what's going on here? He admits that, hey, he's kind of screwed up, but he pledges to kind of get the ball rolling here. So the people who have consigned with him and the people that are owed cards have nothing nice to say about this guy. Supposedly, and I just found this out today through an anonymous source, that Richard was supposed to meet up with one of the people he owed cards to at the Dallas Card Show and no-showed. He's ghosted some of the people that he owes cards to. So that's why we have heard about this. Like I said, I've heard about this about a month ago. But the people who have consigned cards to this guy who currently works at Topps and Fanatics are furious at this guy. They've had it up to here. They've waited 6 months. This guy's given them a runaround. He's ghosted them. He's no-showed them. So I feel their pain. That's why we're here kind of talking about this. I didn't go in guns blazing on Richard because I hope that, hey, if he does have these cards, hey, you've been lazy, for whatever, a few months. Hey, just start processing 5 orders a day or whatever and get through it. These people are going to get their cards back. It'll be water under the bridge if everybody gets their stuff back and you just try to make it right. So that's what I hope will happen. I don't know what will happen here, but to his credit, Richard did back out to me. He says he's got all the cards. He says he's going to work on it. He says his life has been all hectic for the last 6 months and that maybe now things have settled down. He's going to get around to it. So I hope that maybe we just apply a little bit of our Sports Card Radio pressure over here, make this public. I know first of all, this is maybe the biggest point. There are a lot of big names in the hobby who use this guy as a consigner. Names that I could literally rattle off right now and you would recognize. Names that we've already shown and or mentioned on this very program. Some big names in the hobby have used this guy and are mad.